Charlotte takes on Asuka for the Smackdown Women's Championship, and Vince McMahon gives Kofi Kingston one final opportunity for a match against Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. This is scaled, where we look at Raw and SmackDown, and we rate every segment on a scale of 1 to 10. This week, SmackDown is live from the Mohegan Sun. The New Day comes out and gives a little bit of a speech about how they feel like they've reached their fullest potential here in the WWE. So they talk about leaving the company to pursue other options. But before they make a decision, they call out Vince McMahon. This segment's going to get a 7.5. Vince comes out, and before he's able to start talking, Daniel Bryan interrupts and begins saying that Kofi Kingston had multiple opportunities and he's lost every single time. Xavier Woods tells Daniel Bryan that he's a hypocrite and that he's become everything that he used to fight against. Vince McMahon interjects and says that if Big E and Xavier Woods are able to win a tag team gauntlet match, then Kofi gets his match at WrestleMania. Backstage, Becky is in the middle of an interview when suddenly Charlotte's music hits and interrupts her. Charlotte comes out and says that she's about to prove why she belongs in the main event of WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair challenges Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship, a rematch from last year's WrestleMania, which is, in my opinion, a little bit better than that match. This was incredibly amazing, and I really was not expecting Charlotte to walk away with the championship here. I'm giving this a 9. This opens up the question as to whether or not both championships are going to be on the line at WrestleMania, and if so, is it going to be a unification match? Are we just going to go back to having one women's champion? Kurt Angle takes on AJ Styles, and unfortunately this is only going to get a 6 because the match only went on for about 2 or 3 minutes. I could tell it was going to be a pretty good match, probably better than the match that Kurt had with Samoa Joe on Raw, but Randy Orton got involved way too quick and ended the match. AJ Styles won via disqualification, and unfortunately we didn't get to see this match play out to its full potential. The Miz comes out and his promo starts off a little bit like it did last week. I mean, last week his promo was great, it was phenomenal, but this week it just kind of felt like deja vu. But luckily, I think the Miz caught on to this and quickly got to the point, which was challenging Shane McMahon to a Falls Count Anywhere match, giving this a 7. Shane McMahon is then led out by 6 or 7 security guards, plus Primo Cologne, Shelton Benjamin, and all 3 members of Sanity. Shane McMahon cuts a really great promo, which leads the Miz to take out all 11 guys. The 6 security guards, Primo, Shelton, and all 3 members of Sanity. If it was Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman, even Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, I'd believe it. But this is the Miz we're talking about. And don't get me wrong, I like the Miz, but he's not believable at all for him to be able to take out 11 guys. After that, the Iconics are featured, which is going to get a 6.5, as they announced that they're going to be a part of the Fatal 4-Way match for the Women's Tag Team Championships, which is also going to feature Nia Jax and Tamina, Natalya and Beth Phoenix, and of course the champions Sasha Banks and Bayley. And now on to the Tag Team Gauntlet match. The first team that Big E and Xavier Woods go through is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This is only going to get a 4.5 because I felt like they defeated Gallows and Anderson way too easily, way too quickly. I didn't like that. Gallows and Anderson are a great tag team. They're completely underutilized and they should not have been beaten that quickly. Similar to last week, we see Kofi Kingston backstage staring at a monitor, watching the matches, and he starts off with Becky, Rey Mysterio, and the Hardys next to him, but obviously that quickly grows, and so many others like Kevin Owens, Carmella, R-Truth, and many more. Next up, the New Day defeats Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. This lasted a little bit longer. It was definitely a better match, giving this one a 7. On to the New Day versus The Bar. This was probably the best match by far in the gauntlet. These two teams, they've worked together before, so they have the chemistry. I'm giving this one an 8.5. It was great action. After The Bar lost, they threw a fit, took out Xavier Woods, and put Big E through a table. That led the Usos to come out, and then I loved what happened here. I'm probably going a little overboard with this rating, but this was just so awesome what happened next. I'm rating it solely on what happened and not the match, because there was no match. But Jimmy and Jay, they just got on the mics and talked about the history that they had with New Day and said how they believe that Kofi Kingston should have his WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, which is why they forfeit. And they do. They just walk away. That's going to get 7.5. And then the last tag team. It was kind of predictable. Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Good action here. Great ending. It was a great ending because, yes, the New Day won. Big E and Xavier Woods, they won via countout. And I love that countout victory because it totally saves Daniel Bryan, who was not the legal man. The legal man was Rowan. I love how Big E just tossed the commentator's table over on top of him to pin him down. This was unique. I'm giving this an 8. This was a great night. Overall, SmackDown's going to get a 7.15 for this week. I want to thank everybody for watching. You can visit me over on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Patreon. I got a lot more content coming, so hit subscribe and keep your eyes open. Thanks, guys.